Hey y'all, thanks for pulling up and tapping in. Welcome to GamePaw's little corner of the gaming world. I got Forza Horizon 5 queued up. Grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's try to get these 20 points off the playlist for this week. Last week of the month. Let's see what we got here. Looks like a bunch of colorful and cool stuff. Alright, let's see what cars we gotta use. Looks like a bunch of slow stuff. Alright, let's go to the Forza shop and see what we got here. Well, I own everything here. And I've got too many backstage passes already, so let's get these wheel spins.
Hey Anthony, Alejandra says drivers in the upcoming seasonals need to care for themselves and their cars in the heat. Cars mostly. She was clear about the cars.
So for the first thing we gotta do, we gotta own and drive this 1971 Myers Manx. Then we have to do Baja California Trail. Enjoy the race and the music real quick. I'll be back when it's done. Alright, and we're back. And the very next thing that we have to do is earn 3 kangaroo skills. Now, how you achieve that is you get jumping skills in a skill chain. Successive jumps within the same skill chain will give you a kangaroo skill. And you got to do that in Dunas Blancas. And here that is. Next up is the Dust Bowl Speed Trap. And you only have to get 2 stars on this one. So again, share code is unnecessary for the tuning for this. Just throw your fastest tune on it and you should be fine.
Turn right. Turn right. arrived at your destination.
Next up is the Event Labs race, done in the Guanajuato racetrack. Well, built on that track. It's through the city still, same thing. Enjoy it. I'm not gonna leave tune codes for the Manx and the Renault. Incidentally, it's a Class B Renault required for this race, but I'm not gonna leave tune codes for that because you can adjust the difficulty level to whatever you want to achieve these wins. So, yeah, moving on. Next, you have to take a picture of a truck near the Antilles de Tula. I think that's it. Probably butchering the name. But yeah, you got to take a picture of the truck here. And I decided to leave some of the process in so you guys can see how I get some of my pictures, some of the process to it. And finally, if you're still here, we have the trial. Done in this Jaguar Class E-Type. Well, the Jaguar E-Type. And I will leave the tuning code for it right here. But yeah, I want you to watch these two races, and I want you to observe something. And if you notice it, leave it in the comment section, and we'll go over it in the next video. But that's all I got for you guys. Enjoy the races and the music. Thanks for pulling up and tapping in. Peace.